Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. It's good to see you. Day 34 of Witcher, huh? After some video gaming news. Pushing main storyline still today in Witcher. I think, to a great extent, it's going to be a lot of main storyline for the base game moving forward. And then pushing into DLC content, yeah? And that's what we have to look forward to, at least for the next few days for sure. But we'll do that as soon as we get our video gaming news segment in. Cool. Hope everybody's day's going well. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. Let's get it. Let's go. I've had enough coffee. All right. So I'm not going to dive into it. We've talked about this a lot. The gaming industry as a whole has declined profit margin wise since last year at this point, or the beginning of last year up to this point, like mid this year. There's been a bit of a decline, right? It was kind of bound to happen. And it's not just Tencent, it's the gaming industry as a whole. Software, hardware, you name it. It doesn't mean it's not profitable. It just means that at the point where they were last year, it's gone down a little bit, right? They're still doing well. Game Pass reveals 8 new games for August. Let's see. Game Pass tends to do that. They reveal a number of games for the beginning of the month, as the month is about to roll over for the coming month, and then they'll reveal like some more games like mid month. So we'll see what's coming. Sony might release PC game launcher. I think we kind of hit on that a little bit yesterday. Let's take another look. EA will honor the biggest pricing error we've ever seen. Is this what Gabs was talking about yesterday? Oh, no, it's not. This is pretty substantial. Nice. Looks like PS Plus has added 12 new PS4 and PS5 games to their subscription service. So we'll look at these back to back for both the. Good night, dude. Gotta get that turned off. See what both the subscription services, main subscription services for gaming are bringing to the table here. QuakeCon 2022 sales are live. Let's see what we got. So I'm just going to read the title of this, and I'm going to discuss this real quick, or I'm going to address this real quick. function over fun. Analysts say pay to earn games don't need to retain users. First of all, pay to earn as the primary mechanic within a piece of software doesn't make it a game anymore. That makes it work. That is no longer a video game. That has turned that piece of software into a piece of work. So that is first and foremost what people need to understand about what pay to earn is for most people. And for most software developers, they understand that. Play to earn not always, but quite often turns into a situation where the player, the person utilizing that piece of software, gets to a point where they might initially have a bit of enjoyment from that piece of software. I don't want to refer to it as a game. It might have game-like mechanics, but ultimately, what happens is they get to a point where they feel like they need to be playing that game all the time in order to keep progressing and keep making money. It turns into work. Especially the way most software developers are incorporating this mechanic into their products nowadays. With the additional incorporation of like NFT, blockchain, Web3 crap, the pay to earn stuff is just another part of it that makes everything feel bad. I would say it's a lot different if all it is a mechanic where, for instance, PlayStation has announced they have this mechanic coming out into their was it PlayStation Stars? Is that what they're calling it? I think where you can literally just earn currency for this platform, PlayStation Stars, by playing their games, playing on their platforms, and it has no kind of real life monetary value. It's not supposed to be including NFTs, anything like that. It's just a kind of bonus for people to play their games, earn this generic kind of PlayStation currency where they can use it to buy things to like, kind of flex their profiles, show off, avatars and stuff like that. Maybe even purchase some in-game items, cosmetically or what have you. But it's not supposed to have anything to do with like actual real life monetary value. So it play to earn in that capacity, I would say, is just like an incentive kind of bonus situation for game players, which is fine. But whenever you start incorporating it in a way where it actually does have real life monetary value, it's hooked up into a game that has a crypto economy in it, and it's got all the Web3. Jeebus, dude. One second, guys. I apologize. I need to address something. Apologies. We're good. Before I was so rudely interrupted there. Um, so, God, what I was on an absolute tear right there, man, and got really thrown off. That feels bad. Um, I don't know. That's the big difference. Play to earn in a way that doesn't have monetary value, based on just giving a bit of an incentive to players to get some bonuses for the games that they already want to play, as opposed to software that comes off like a game experience, entertainment experience that is actually just solely based on trying to, make people feel like they need to be in the game all the time to keep generating money, work, grinding for work. FF16 director says series is struggling to adapt. Let's see what's going on there. Evil West release date delayed until November. Wait, what? That's a bold move. You guys know what other game is releasing in November, right? Which, like, all other developers and publishers are trying to avoid. Like the plague. Ragnarok. Nobody wants to release anything in November right now because of Ragnarok. And now Evil West is delaying until November. All right, we'll see what's going on there. Yeah, let's pivot real quick. Awful Forspoken ad? What's this about? Forspoken, that's another game that's been delayed multiple times. That was supposed to release in March of this year, then got delayed to October. Now it's been delayed till like beginning of 2023. We'll see if it actually ends up. And that Forspoken's supposed to be the first game coming out that actually is incorporating uh, Microsoft's, what is it, direct storage technology for PC, anyways. All right, apologies. I had to address something real quick. Um, Looks like new Hogwarts Legacy reveal taking place at Gamescom. This has also been delayed. We saw this. We hit on this yesterday, I think. New Lord of the Rings game in the works from Weta Workshop. This is also... This is being developed by... God, what is the name of the pirate? What's the name of the dev that did Hades? I suck so bad. They are making the new Lord of the Rings game, and that gives me hope. It gives me hope. We saw it yesterday in the news segment, though. Go take a look at yesterday's news segment on YouTube if you're interested. Not going to dive into it again. Not until we see something new. New 64 game on Switch Online. Looks like there's a new Saints Row trailer that highlights the story of the game. If you're interested, I'm not going to dive into that this morning. We got enough coming up in the news already. Overwatch 2 cross progression and account merging. Let's see what this is about. We have people in the community that play Overwatch 2, and I know that there's a lot of, this is coming fairly quickly to us, right? Overwatch 2 is, so. I'm going to pull this up, but we might already be seeing this in... Where did our article go? Right here. Mama! What's up, Mama? Yeah, so Game Pass losing some of its best. So we'll read that right there, along with the other Game Pass. The new games coming to Game Pass. See if the article talking about the new games coming talks about the games that are leaving and whether we need to address that second article or not. Multiverses players are unhappy with season 1. Might be this new update. Let's see what's going on there. How are you, Mama? How you been? New Dune game announced. Take a look at that real quick. Let's stick with that. Let's get going. Multiverses players are unhappy with the Season 1 Battle Pass. The Battle Pass contains no premium currency. Okay. Some Multiverses players aren't happy with the recently released Battle Pass for Season 1 of the platform fighter. Excuse me. Goodness. Everything is great. Received your witch herbs? Sick. Caught COVID? Not sick. I mean, you are sick, but that's not cool sick. Recovered, which is awesome. And immediately got tonsillitis. You're sick, and that's not sick again. Life is beautiful. Well, I mean, I'm guessing there's like a /s on the end of there, like being a little bit sarcastic, but I honestly hope that you're okay, and that sucks. I'm sorry. It's good to see you, though. I hope you're actually doing okay. It sounds kind of brutal. But, oh, uh, when it rains, it pours, I guess, yeah? Jeez. That's pretty rough. I hope you get over the tonsillitis stuff soon, though. Um, Fans of the player first games platform fighter have been discussing yesterday's season 1 rollout. With a lack of Gleamium, the game's premium currency in the Battle Pass, a contentious issue. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Nice. All right. Yeah. Got the man flying in. Cool. Awesome. Nice. Exciting. Cool. I hope you guys have a good time. I mean, moving always kind of sucks, but you know, getting to see your man is cool. That's awesome. At present, the premium version of the Battle Pass costs 950 Gleamium, roughly 8. What is that? Is that euros? And between that and the free Battle Pass, players can unlock coins, badges, toasts, banners, icons, taunts, and other customization options. Comments on the Season 1 Battle Pass highlight how other free online free-to-play games typically give you enough premium currency to purchase the next pass if you play enough, or how there are missing tier rewards in the free Battle Pass. Some players are saying they will instead see how far they can get in the Battle Pass before buying the premium tier. Whether the Battle Pass will be changed due to fan feedback is currently unknown. Both Beetlejuice and the Wicked Witch of the West might be coming to multiverses as well in the future. We saw a whole list yesterday. Of the potential characters that could be coming to the game, right? But for sure, we saw Stripe, and Black Adam. Black Adam and Stripe are coming to the game for definite at some point. 2 are currently front and center in some ad material for the game. Here's the thing. This is a free-to-play game. Yeah? Free-to-play game where, I don't know. I have seen battle passes in, I guess where I kind of understand them not putting premium currency in the battle pass in a free-to-play game more than I understand them not putting premium currency in a battle pass in a game that you pay for. You know, if you are paying up front for a game and then you're paying for the battle pass as well, I kind of expect them to be a little more gracious with putting some of the premium currency in the battle pass so that you don't, if you play enough, you're not going to have to buy the battle pass next season. You can just earn enough currency for it, right? Because you're paying for the game up front as well. But for a free-to-play game, they're trying to make their money through things like battle pass, right? For all the development on the game and stuff like that. So I don't know. I can kind of understand it a bit more with this game being free-to-play and them not putting premium currency in the battle pass. I can understand it. I don't know. That's just me. New Dune game announcements teased by world's biggest and most accurate leaker. Remember the open world survival multiplayer Dune game that's in development? Well, we don't blame you if not. We forgot it existed too, but recent online chatter has suddenly put it back in the public eye. This is because the Snitch, the world's vaguest but most accurate leaker, I love that name, recently posted a picture of a poster for the 2021 Dune movie, albeit one slightly edited so that the character in the poster has the hair from the Snitch's profile picture. Given their reputation for extremely accurate video game leaks, it stands to reason that some kind of Dune-related game announcement is on the horizon. Mamzelle, what's up? What's unclear is whether it's a brand new game or the aforementioned survival game, which we know next to nothing about and lacks any sort of trailer. The leak's complete lack of details mean it's impossible to tell, with the edited hair perhaps hinting at a character customization feature which would make sense for a multiplayer game. The snitches leaks are usually followed by an official reveal shortly afterwards. While we could see a trailer randomly drop in the next week or so, it's entirely possible that a Dune game will be featured at Gamescom on Tuesday. Specifically, the Gamescom opening night live presentation, which host Jeff Keighley says will feature at least 30 brand new and existing games. All we know about the Dune survival game is that it's in development at Norwegian studio Funcom, specifically at its Oslo office, which last released fellow survival game Conan Exiles in 2018. Yeah, Funcom announced the game in 2019 as part of its new partnership with Legendary Pictures, which was set to last 6 years and include a minimum of 3 Dune games for PC and consoles. One of them, strategy title Dune Spice Wars, is already available as an early access title on PC, and earlier this year, Funcom put together a careers website specifically for the Dune survival game. This still leaves at least one more Dune game, which may be what the snitch is alluding to. Okay. Cool. Well, looks like we'll probably see more on that within the next week. PS Plus adds 12 new PS5 and PS4 games for subscribers. This is good. I think what we keep kind of hearing disdain about regarding the PS Plus service is the premium tier of this failing to add very many of their older platform games, right? Sony has today added 12 new games to PS Plus for subscribers to play across PS5 and PS4. At the start of this month, PS Plus Essential members were able to get, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and Yakuza Like a Dragon, and Little Nightmares. And while this lineup at a baseline level was quite strong for the month, those who are subscribed to PS Plus Extra and PS Plus Premium can now look to get their hands on an even larger number of games. As of this moment, the 12 new games in question coming to PS Plus Extra and Premium have become available to download. This slate is notably headlined by 3 installments in the Yakuza series. We had heard those were coming, and stands as the beginning of the franchise's full addition to PS Plus before the end of 2023. Yeah. Outside of Yakuza, Sony has also now added some shooters, party games, and a remake of a classic JRPG to the subscription platform. So we had already heard that they were going to be bringing the entire Yakuza series, but we're talking Dead by Daylight, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Bugsnax, Metro Exodus, Trials of Mana, nice, Everspace, Uno, Monopoly Madness, and Monopoly Plus. Likely the only thing about PS Plus that has disappointed Extra and Premium subscribers lately is what I just talked about. Comes with Sony's offering for retro games. Even though PS Plus now has a catalog of PS1, 2, 3, and PSP games to play, Sony has been slow to add new titles to the service that come from these platforms. So much so, in fact, that a number of subscribers have started to complain about the lack of old school titles. Whether or not we'll see a big change on this front in the coming months remains to be seen, but if nothing else, at least the PS5 and PS4 offerings remain relatively strong. Yeah. Again, Sony needs to, I would say, get on the ball. Their premium tier, the top tier of their subscription service, it literally revolves around your ability to access their older gen titles, right? And it costs more. People are buying it to access those titles, but they are starting to show their lack of love for what Sony is doing, by not providing them with new, it's just what they've had from the get-go. There are no new titles coming out for the premium service of those old school titles, and people are growing impatient for sure. Yeah. Yeah. In what capacity exactly are you talking about? I mean, that's what they're trying to do in the first place, right? Let's not kid ourselves. PlayStation is absolutely trying to clone Microsoft's golden egg here, if you will, right? Um, this is what I've said from the get go, though. Now that PlayStation has kind of come out with their own version of a nice subscription service, what is going to be really critical for both Microsoft and PlayStation moving forward is what they can do uniquely to stand out from one another, right? That's what it is. So it's not just a matter of copying what the other one does well. It's also a matter of what can you do to stand out to bring people to your service over the other one, right? Um, Microsoft has been doing a very good job with Game Pass for a very long time now. So it makes sense for PlayStation to copy what they've been doing. Um, and I mean, you only expect that, right? But to a great extent, what this is going to come down to as far as competition is where can they think outside the box, as it were, right? Think outside that box, come up with some unique incorporations. Um, oh, yeah, Nintendo also is actually kind of terrible about their ports. Nintendo sucks. They're pretty bad. But you're right. See, that's the thing that sucks. I mean, Nintendo. You say a buttload of old games, but what Nintendo's actually really bad about is not giving people access to a lot of their older games as well. Nintendo's actually kind of terrible about it. Just like Nintendo has just recently decided to shut down their DS eShop stuff and everything, and like you're losing access to all those digital online titles and everything, and nobody has any way to access those anymore. You can't get them on Switch. You know what I mean? Um, so Nintendo with Switch Online has been making a push to uh, port over older games, like especially we're talking like some regular Super and Nintendo 64 games, right? Um, yeah, yeah. But I mean, we even saw it with like Ocarina of Time was an absolute nightmare when they released it. It was terrible, you know. So again, just because they're like releasing it, if it's not in a good playable state, that still feels bad. Ocarina of Time sucked. They released it; it had all kinds of issues. So I mean, I think it's one thing to make it available; it's another thing for it to actually play right. you know, and maybe that's what PlayStation's going through right now. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, we read a lot about it in the news segments. We read a lot about it. It was pretty abysmal. I mean, like there was a lot of issues with it. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, and we talk about that a lot, though, right? I mean, that's just the gaming industry in general. Like, if you're gonna release something, release it in a good state, right? I mean, we advocate for that all the time, and you guys hear me rant about it consistently enough, I'm sure. I'm always ranting about the terrible state of so many games being released and why they're released like that. And, I was actually thinking about that yesterday too. You know, it's changed. I would say if developers got back from the mind state, back before the how prevalent the internet has become, it's really changed development. And the way developers have taken a stance at approaching how they release games You remember, like, back in the day before the internet was all over the place, if a game was going to be released, it was always physical, right? A physical and it needed to be in a very, very, like, very well polished, very playable state to be released. Otherwise, it was going to be crap. Nobody was going to buy it. And I feel like that's where, even though we are in this more modern day of technology where things can be patched after the fact and things like that, I feel like developers need to get back in that mind state of just acting like, or back to the roots of addressing the way games used to be released. I know it's not all that easy because games are all so much larger. They're much more in depth. There's a lot more to them and everything, but trying to maintain that mindset that used to be held, right, with the way games needed the state of a game on release, I think would help a lot. Gabe Premium, yo, gamer. I was actually going to talk. I don't know if you were hanging out. We looked at that article you brought up about Ogre Tactics Reborn. You're absolutely right, dude. Absolutely right. We looked at that at the end of the news segment yesterday, dude. There is absolutely no reason why that game should cost that much. Not even close. No way. I gave Premium, and this is my take on more PS1, PS2 titles need to be added. Bottom line, when it comes to Game Pass, I don't really keep track of what comes. Yeah, cool, gamer. Right on, right on. Yeah, I just didn't know if you hit the last of the news segment yesterday. Yeah. For Game Pass, does not add multiple titles at one time. No idea really what Nintendo is up to. Yeah. That's what they did with one of the new applications to use at work. For a year, we had to work with the old one in the new system because the new one, we couldn't do everything. Yeah, Mamzo. So, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of disdain right now for what, PlayStation's lack of focus on. And I mean, that's like exactly what I was saying. Their premium tier, that's why people are buying it, right? They want access to those old school titles. And I think everybody was kind of understanding at the get-go that there might not be the entire library of PlayStation 1 and 2 games were not going to be on there, right? But they were expecting rollouts, right? We're talking, dude, well, it was the beginning of June, right? Beginning of June when PlayStation Plus subscription started. So we're talking like first week of June, somewhere around there, second week of June. And now we're talking like 2 months in, at least 2 months in. And they haven't really rolled out anything from the previous gen stuff to add to the collection anyways, and I think people are starting to go, what's going on? Why are we not getting more, right? Why are we not getting more? We're paying for it. Where is it, right? And I agree. I agree with them. And I haven't looked into, I will say this, I have not looked into what the entire collection of classic titles there are, PS1, PS2 titles there are out there for premium right now. But from everything I gather from, the attitude everybody kind of has regarding this situation, it can't be a plethora of games. It can't be a ton of games because there are a lot of people that are kind of up in arms about it right now. So, on to Xbox, right? Game Pass reveals 8 new games for August. Xbox announced this week another batch of games coming to Xbox Game Pass with 8 more titles planned for the subscription service before the end of the month. As we've come to expect from these sorts of releases, some of these games coming to Xbox Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate are ones players have probably heard about previously, while others are coming to the catalog on the same day the games themselves release. The first of these games will be available starting today on Tuesday, while the others will be out throughout the rest of the month until we get our first look at the planned September games. I think this is one of the things that Xbox does very well, though. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that, they are very good about day one release on Game Pass, right? You don't necessarily see that with PlayStation right now in their subscription service. So, I will give Xbox the upper hand right now when it comes to that kind of thing. It seems like Xbox does a pretty good job. And again, I mean, they've been doing this for years already. So I would say maybe we give PlayStation a little bit of time to start trying to work with some developers and things like that to get the ball rolling, as it were, in regards to some of those day one titles hitting Xbox at the same time, but PlayStation Plus at the same time. Xbox has been doing this forever, and they do a lot of this day one release, hit Game Pass at the same time. I mean, a lot. First of these games will be available starting today on Tuesday, while the others will be out throughout the rest of the month until we get our first look at planned September games. So this came out yesterday, obviously. Of the games releasing in this next wave, half of them will be available on day one via Xbox Game Pass. Those games are Midnight Fight Express, Commandos 3 HD Remaster, Immortality, and Tinykin. I've heard good things about Tinykin. You can see those listed below alongside the rest of the games, the dates the games will release, and the platforms they'll be available on. So, Coffee Talk, Midnight Fight Express, Exapunks, Opus Echo of Star Song, Commandos 3, Immortality, Immortals Phoenix Rising, and Tinykin. You downloaded Trials of Mana? Nice, gamer. Cool, man. You'll have to let me know. I haven't played it, but it looks cool. It looks cool. Let me know how you feel about it, man. If you ever actually play it outside of just downloading it. Looking at that lineup, Immortals Phoenix Rising is probably the one that'll be most recognizable, given that it's an Ubisoft title. It's a game based around Greek mythology and attracted comparisons to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, even if it deviated from that formula on its own. New Xbox Game Pass games for August will be added to the service from today until August 30th, at which point we'll be able to look forward to a new batch of games planned for September. Yeah, that's kind of the way Xbox works things. Towards the end of August, we'll see what's coming in September, and then around the middle of September, we'll see a new slew of games coming out. It's like twice, it's about every 2 weeks, right? It's roughly the way it goes for Xbox Game Pass. Now, the games they're losing, right? So Microsoft has today revealed that some of the best games that are currently available on Game Pass will be departing from the platform incredibly soon. Before August comes to an end, Game Pass is set to receive 8 new titles, which we just talked about. By the end of this month, it's set to lose 10 games across its console, PC, and cloud verticals. Many of these titles are ones that have been on the service for quite some time, and as such, a number of subscribers have likely already played them. Still, the quality of some of these games is what makes their impending departures a bit upsetting. Elite Dangerous, Hades, that's a good one. Myst, nice. NBA 2K22, Signs of the Sojourner, Spiritfarer, 12 Minutes, 2 Point Hospital, What Remains of Edith Finch, and World War Z. As you can see, a number of games listed here that are leaving Xbox Game Pass might be considered some of the most enjoyable on the service. Hades, for instance, was considered one of the best games of the year when it launched back in 2020. Other titles like What Remains of Edith Finch, Spiritfarer, and 2 Point Hospital have been quite critically acclaimed as well. Not to mention games with widespread appeal like NBA 2K22 and World War Z are also on their way out. While it has become normal to expect games to be removed from Game Pass over time, this is likely the toughest slate of removals throughout all of 2022. If you're upset to see any of these titles being removed, though, it's worth stressing that games have left Game Pass in the past only to come back at a later date. As such, perhaps this could happen with some of these games in the future. Yeah, I mean, that's just to be expected. They add games get removed as well. Here we go. QuakeCon 2022 sales are live with deals on great Bethesda games. The reason I paused because I was like, I wonder what great Bethesda games they're going to list. So QuakeCon kicks off on August 18th, so tomorrow. But ahead of the event, you'll find tons of great Bethesda games available with steep discounts. PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, and PC are all represented in the savings with hit games like Deathloop and Fallout 4. Plenty of retro hits on sale for low prices. Below, you'll find a breakout of some of the best deals. Best Xbox deals. Dishonored, Doom, Doom Eternal, Elder Scrolls Online, Evil Within 2, $8. Evil Within 2 is a great play. We played it last year in Scaretober if you didn't see it. It's actually on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out, see what you think. Horror-esque, psychological horror, cool game. One of my favorite antagonists that I've seen in a video game so far is in this game. Stefano. Very good. Cool game. Skyrim Anniversary and Fallout 4 Game of the Year bundle for $32. And all the Wolfenstein games. PlayStation deals. Deathloop, Dishonored Definitive, Dishonored 2, Doom, Evil Within 2, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Ghostwire Tokyo, Prey, and Wolfenstein. Switch deals. Doom 1993, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. PC deals. Deathloop, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Deluxe Edition, Doom VFR, Elder Scrolls Online High Isle, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition, Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is actually widely considered the best Fallout of that series. So if you're a fan of Fallout, you've never played New Vegas, you can get it for $3 on PC right now. Ghostwire Tokyo is actually from Tango, which is the same creator. This is their new game. They're the same developer that made the Evil Within games. Quake 4, Wolfenstein The New Order, and Wolfenstein 3D. There you go. If you guys are interested here, throw that in chat. Final Fantasy 16 director says series is struggling to adapt. There we go. The popular JRPG series is having trouble keeping up. I hate to hear this, but I've got to say, Square Enix is just, it's just another one of those terrible stories for me about like a dev that I fell in love with as a kid that I'm continuing to lose faith in, and it just hurts, you know. The more I hear about where they're headed, and I know we haven't even read this article yet, but there's been a lot of speculation about Sony potentially buying Square Enix, and I'm almost at the point where I feel like that would be the best thing to happen moving forward. So, I don't know. One of the most iconic franchises in video game history is having a hard time staying relevant. According to Final Fantasy 14 and 16 director Naoki Yoshida, in terms of whether Final Fantasy is successfully adapting to industry trends, I believe the series is currently struggling, Yoshida told Inverse. We're now at our point where we receive a wide variety of requests regarding the direction of our game design. To be honest, it'd be impossible to satisfy all those requests with a single title. My current impression is that all we can do is create multiple games and continue creating the best that we can at any given time. The director, who has worked at Square Enix for the last 18 years, could be referring to a lot of trends that have taken hold of gaming or that threaten to. In February, he addressed Square Enix and the gaming industry's growing interest in NFTs and play-to-earn cryptocurrency mechanics, confirming that FF14 won't incorporate them. Square Enix is pivoting super hard. Their CEO is like, we are going blockchain, NFT. They are like full go, full send, baby. Which I hate. And while the MMO is memed as having a free trial that you can play up through its Heaven Sword expansion, it's still not a completely free-to-play live service game like a Genshin Impact or what Ubisoft upcoming Assassin's Creed Infinity promises to be. FF16, the next main entry in the series, won't be either, nor will it be open world, but it will include genre-bending battles between its iconic summons, a first for the series. Outside the numbered entries, Final Fantasy games have slightly pushed things in more modern directions. There are several Final Fantasy mobile gacha games. Brave Exvius hit 45 million downloads last year. FF7 Remake and the other spin-offs continue to break away from the original game's trajectory, like the Battle Royale shooter that launched last year, but none of them have truly taken off or had as much of an impact as the series had in the late 90s and early 2000s. Yoshida told Inverse the series isn't about chasing trends but setting them, and that FF16 storytelling will reflect that. But it sounds like he wants to do much more than that. The long development cycles for its past few numbered entries probably make that difficult. The side projects could push further out into the unknown, but it might be hard to convince Square Enix, a notoriously risk-averse company, to let a team do that. Yoshida seems interested in pushing further after FF16 is out next year. Quote, I am the kind of person who's happy as long as they can make games, so while there isn't anything in particular, I occasionally think that I would like to make one more MMO from scratch before I die. After the clever and historic ending of FF14's original incarnation and its recent explosion in popularity, I hope he gets his wish. Yoshida comes off as somebody that is, a very good director, game designer, and has absolutely no interest in a lot of these mechanics that Square seems to be solely directed at incorporating monetary, incorporations, such as, NFTs and blockchaining and stuff like that. So I can only imagine what it feels like to be in his position and have the company as a whole that you've worked for 18 years and you've been very successful doing what you do, be pressuring you to probably, incorporate those kinds of things. Yeah, that could actually possibly be the situation as well. Yeah. He's absolutely not backing what the company's saying, though. I mean, the CEO of Square Enix is very, very upfront about it. I can't remember the individual's name right now. What's up, Tinwin? How are you, buddy? Your badge should be up. You should have your 1-year badge, dude. Thanks again for that, by the way, man. I think I forgot to shout you out at the end of the stream yesterday, and I should have done that. 12 months of support, dude. Insane. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, you could be absolutely right. I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah. Yep. At the same time, he could absolutely just not be about him. And in that case, to have a company like Square that is just so, tunnel visioned in on trying to push into that space where you're not, has to be a crippling kind of thing, We'll see what happens. I'm not really. I haven't been for a while, but the more I hear coming out of Square, yeah, agreed. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. That's actually a really good. Yeah, that's a really good thought there, dude. Yeah. That's great. That's great awareness. I didn't think about it like that either. And you're absolutely right. Yeah. 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 I mean, um, which is the thing for me is and I've said this quite often here recently is you've got like a CEO of Square who is just like not even, like you just stated, has no kind of, apparently no kind of care about what kind of hit his reputation takes in regards to making it well known to the entire world that he is adamant about pushing Square into this space of you know, blockchain, NFT, all that kind of stuff, and then you've got somebody like you know. Again, I bring this individual up a lot, and I've done it here recently because I've become very fond of a lot of the things that I hear. Phil Spencer, man, the CEO of gaming for Microsoft and Xbox and everything. I continue to hear good stuff from that. I mean, to the point of where he even came out recently and said that the game he's most looking forward to playing right now is, size, thanks, buddy, is Ragnarok. You know, that's a proprietary Sony game, you know. Sorry. I probably need to change that, dude. Every time I get raided, I have to like pause. I appreciate the raids. I just need to probably change that alert. Yo, Size, thanks, buddy. What's up, man? I appreciate it. Welcome in, guys. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. The reason I initially thought that like I would put that in is because if I was like, you know, focus mode in on a game, I would know that somebody was raiding, you know, and it would make me stop. And yeah, I could make it softer. Yeah, I could. But then I won't bust everybody's eardrums out, you know. I'd probably just need to find something else. I put that in a long time ago. I need to find something else probably. But I appreciate the raid, buddy. What's up, man? What's up, Size? So I mean, it just goes to show you the difference, you know. While obviously Square is not, you know, the same size company that we're talking about with Microsoft or anything. Oh, you baked cookies and put a picture on the server? Sick, dude. I'll take a look at it. Good, Size, good. Thanks again for the raid, man. You know, I mean, I think it just goes to show you the difference of what somebody at the head of some of these companies can be, you know, in regards to how they feel about gaming, if they're actually a tried and true gamer, and if they, you know, or if all they are is just a business person, you know. And you can be both. And I think that's where Phil Spencer excels. I think Phil Spencer is actually a very good business person, but has maintained that core gamer, you know, that he's always been. Fell in love with video games and has maintained that mindset throughout becoming a very successful person in the business world of gaming as well, you know. And I don't know. I think that's just a big difference to take in comparing people that are at the head of some of these gaming companies. Well, we'll see what happens with Final Fantasy series, guys. Okay, here's something that's a little bit crazy. So Evil West has been delayed until November, guys. Okay. Timon, let me see these cookies real quick, dude. Ah! That was supposed to be over here. Let me see these cookies, dude. Dude, that looks like biscotti. Are those cookies or is that biscotti, dude? That actually looks amazing, bro. Where are mine? They're cookies? Okay. Biscotti's really good too. I love biscotti. But those look amazing, dude. Those look amazing. What kind of cookies are they? So this is kind of wild. I'm gonna read this, but right away, my first impression here was like, we've been seeing so much come out about how other developers and publishers are basically like entirely avoiding, for the most part, November, right? You love my laugh? Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it, buddy. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like I have one of those laughs that either, and I've been told this before, too. I have one of those laughs that, like, people either like it or they dislike it. So it's one of those laughs that I feel like it either turns people off or people, like,
He tried it.
You know? So I don't know. I'm glad you like it, though, man. I appreciate it. So, yeah, we've even seen a lot of this here lately where just chocolate strips, flour, sugar, vanilla powder, cocoa powder, baking powder, butter, egg, rose on a bake sheet, over in a slice of strips, yeah, Right on. Yeah, those look really good, Tinwin. Really good, dude. Nice. Thanks for sharing, man. Um, Ragnarok releases in November, and uh, it's basically like scaring off a lot of other developers and publishers. So immediately when I saw this article this morning, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of weird." So Evil West has delayed until November, where like a lot of other publishers and developers are basically staying away from November entirely because nobody wants to release anything around the same time as Ragnarok. So let's see here. The developers at Flying Wild Hog and publishers at Focus Entertainment have just announced that Evil West will not be released in September as originally planned. The release date has now been pushed back to November 22nd to further polish the game prior to launch. Now, Ragnarok releases at the beginning of November, I think November 9th. But still, I think anywhere within. Yeah, except Skull and Bones. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even surprise me that like Ubisoft is doing that, though. I don't. Like, what are they gonna do? It wouldn't even be a big deal if they delayed it again. They've delayed it like 6 times within the past 4 years. So what's another delay, right? They might as well just delay it again. The amount of games that have been delayed this past year is astounding, especially given the fact that most of them are highly anticipated by fans and gamers alike, such as Lord of the Rings Gollum. Yo, Size, let me shout Size out real quick, guys. Sorry. What were you playing, dude? There you go. If you guys aren't familiar with Size, Size was just chatting it up, man. Thanks for the raid, buddy. I appreciate it. Given the fact that most of them are highly anticipated by fans and gamers alike, such as Lord of the Rings Gollum, Evil West has now been added to the list of delayed games, and though it isn't a severe pushback on the release date, it will no longer launch as we initially thought. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, buddy. Thanks for always being here and raiding and stuff. Oh, playing Flesh and Blood TCG. Oh, cool, man. All right, right on. Nice. How'd it go? Random vote time, guys. Random vote time. Spider-Man 2. Nice. Pinky, what's up, buddy? Resident Sleeper. Let's go. Nice. Everybody, you're looking for that angel thump. Get that angel thump in there. Evil West has now been added to the list of delayed games, and though it isn't a severe pushback on the release date, it will no longer launch as we initially thought. Why is my chat doing this? Yeah. Yeah, Tim, you're right. To ensure the game reaches its full potential, this is their quote, right? Yo, Size, take it easy, buddy. Take it easy. I'm guessing you're going to go rest. You're funny, dude. Take it easy, buddy. Thanks, man. We have made the decision to delay the worldwide launch of Evil West to November 22nd. We understand the game delays may be frustrating. It's a necessary step to deliver the best experience to everyone. Thank you again for your awesome support and dedication. Drives us forward and pushes us to create the weirdest, wildest Western ride for all of you. The developers also mentioned they are more than appreciative of reception the game has gotten since it was announced, as well as from those who were able to try the demo out at PAX East. Also state that polishing the game to the best of their ability is what they believe must be done in order to ensure players not only make good memories during their playthroughs, but long-lasting ones. I mean, if a game needs to be delayed, delay it. It just feels weird, and I'm not talking about this game specifically, but like, if a game gets delayed 6 times in 4 years, something's wrong, To read their full statement on the delay, check out the official page, their official page on Twitter. Yeah, the game is set to release on November 22nd now on platforms PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Windows. All right, if you want to check out any of those links or anything, I'll throw this in chat. But yeah, there's it's a bit of a surprise. Not the delay necessarily. A lot of games are being delayed, right? But it's a bit of a surprise that they decided for November. Even deciding late November. We'll see. See how it goes. That awful Forspoken ad reflects the all-consuming justification of video games. The internet can't stop roasting a very bad ad, but Forspoken is just the latest example of one of the worst trends in gaming. This is another game that's been delayed multiple times, right? Forspoken. And this game was supposed to release in March, then got delayed till October. Now it's being delayed, till the end of the first quarter for gaming's first quarter of 2023, which is like the end of March, right? Also, Forspoken is supposed to be the first game coming to PC that is incorporating Microsoft's direct storage technology, if I remember that correctly. By now, you've probably seen it. The young heroine of the upcoming game Forspoken flits her way through the empty fields and Hadouken's bad guys into pillars of ash, quipping all the way. So, a quote, "So let me get this straight," she begins, adopting the ironic, mocking tone of so many contemporary pop culture heroes. Throw in some mentions of freaking dragons and killing jacked up beasts, and you have the makings of an instant internet meme. It didn't take long for people to start cracking jokes at the ad's expense. Content creator and voice actor ProZD was one of the first to get in on the action. Let's see this. The following media includes potentially sensitive content. Be aware.
So let me get this straight. I'm somewhere that's not what I would call Earth. I'm seeing freaking dragons, and oh yeah, I'm talking to a cuff. Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I do magic, kill jacked up beasts. I'll probably fly next.
Yeah, January now, yeah? All right, let's see what this is.
So let me get this straight. I'm somewhere that's not what I would call Earth. I'm seeing freaking dragons, and oh yeah, I'm talking to a cuff. Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I do magic, kill jacked up beasts. I'll probably fly next.
So let me get this straight. I'm somewhere that's not what I would call Brooklyn. I'm seeing giant freaking turtles, and oh yeah, I'm talking to a hat. Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I throw my hat, I kill jacked up turtles. I'll probably be a freaking dinosaur next. I'm seeing freaking giant animals, and I'm talking to a raccoon. I guess it's something I do now. I pay my mortgage. Okay, I guess that's something I do now. I kill high schoolers.
Yeah, it is pretty dumb, dude. I agree. That's funny. What's this one?
So let me get this straight. I'm somewhere that's not what I would call England.
Bro, I'm not even familiar with that individual.
And
oh yeah, funny.
I'm talking to a doll.
Nice. Oh, dude. That's actually hilarious. As a whole, it's tempting to laugh at these goofy memes and move on with our lives. After all, the gaming community will find something new and embarrassing to laugh at in the next few days. Since the game is still in the oven, we have no idea if this ad will reflect the final product. But to me, the regrettable writing in this ad speaks to a greater problem in game production, one that has been bubbling for the past 5 years to 10 years. I'm referring to the abject justification that has been taking hold of gaming at its root, especially in the AAA space. If you play a lot of video games, you've probably noticed that the tone and character writing of big budget blockbusters have become remarkably similar in recent years. Or to put it in a less charitable way, there's an acute sense that a lot of games are settling for the generic instead of actually differentiating themselves from the rest of the pack. The writing style of big video games is settled on the sarcastic, quip-filled malaise first popularized by Joss Whedon of shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Firefly. For example, compare the reveal trailers of the upcoming Saints Row and the delayed Arcane exclusive Redfall, each from about a year ago. Despite being very different in genre and overall presentation, the two games struck an eerily similar tone, filled with witty banter, non sequiturs, visual gags, and of course, lots and lots of quips. Sleep tight, our intrepid sniper says before blowing holes in 5 vampires. That is so unprofessional. One of our lovable losers quips upon learning that the gang they're about to rob shot the arms dealer delivering the goods. Fair bit of influence from Borderlands 2. Yeah, I mean Borderlands absolutely, is known for that like they absolutely popularized that, right? Borderlands, I know not everybody's a fan of Borderlands, right? I loved Borderlands 1 and 2. I actually thought that it was done very well. I know not everybody loved it, but I loved the world. I loved the equipment in the game. I haven't played 3, and the pre-sequel, I lost interest in the pre-sequel, but 1 and 2 I found very exciting. Miso, what's up, buddy? And but I think you're right. I think a lot of what people saw, what the popularity that came along with Borderlands, right, with that type of writing, and they were like, oh, let's use that, right? And it doesn't work in every game. It doesn't work in every environment, in every world and universe, right? Yeah, I get that. And that's why I think it doesn't appeal to everybody, right? I mean, I can enjoy a lot of different types of humor, right? I'm not going to be able to just always indulge myself in that type of humor. I'll get tired of it, but I can enjoy it from time to time. It's kind of like the same way with a lot of slapstick movies. That's why, like, there are certain people that don't enjoy really watching Will Ferrell stuff quite often because a lot of his stuff is just, they find it dumb, right? It's not intellectual humor. It's just stupid humor. And to a lot of people, it's, it's just not engaging. And I respect that. But for me, like, I can get enjoyment out of a lot of those, just slapstick, stupid, funny movies and stuff like that. I'm just not going to sit down and watch them all the time, back to back to back. You know what I mean? I like different kinds of content. But I liked Borderlands. I like stupid, funny movies from time to time. I enjoy them. But I very much enjoy like intellectual comedy, dark comedy, stuff like that too, So I don't think you're necessarily wrong there. I think that because of the popularity of like maybe Borderlands 1 and 2, a lot of it kind of set a trend for development in a lot of games and them taking that kind of writing and incorporating it as well when it doesn't necessarily flow with every. And let's be honest, I mean, Borderlands was built for that. Dude, that just released yesterday. Yeah. Did you play it? Did you get the full release? Because I remember you were the one that showed me the demo and everything. Yeah. Not full release. Okay, yeah. I just saw it released yesterday. I got the notification for it. Yeah, it looks really, really good. I would like to try it at some point soon. So, yeah, I mean, now there's nothing wrong with injecting your game with a bit of levity. By their very nature, video games are often ridiculous, and well-timed humor can go a long way, absolutely, towards standing down some of the more annoying aspects of a lengthy campaign. Witcher 3 is a great example, I think. We're like 180 hours into this game right now. And I will say that one of the refreshing things about the game is that this is a game about kind of medieval-esque, a lot of battle. There's a lot of darker kind of content, but they did a good job of incorporating some really, really great dialogue, writing, and funny comedic relief, if you will, right? There's a lot of good comedic relief in The Witcher 3 that, dude, I just start dying laughing, and it really breaks up some of the other the darkness of the game and stuff like that. They did a good job in The Witcher 3 for stuff. And same thing with like Pillars, a lot. I think that's where it comes in, right? Where a game like Borderlands is just through and through absurdity, right? But you get a game that has a really, really good story to it, and you get that different kind of writing within it, and you get the drama and the dark and the light and the good comedy to kind of break the stuff up. And I think for a good story, that's where it really comes in. Good writing can really get those kinds of things through and across. I think that's the difference also, with any kind of entertainment, though, again. Sometimes, for me, it's nice to just sit down and play a Borderlands game because I don't necessarily care to have anything else other than just absurdity. And I'm fine with that, But lately it feels like every game has the exact same sense of humor. Violent, not graphic. Goofy, but not absurd. Irreverent, but not transgressive. It's not clear exactly what the objects of these punchlines are, except perhaps the concept of anyone taking anything seriously. Yeah, backlash to this sort of swarmy, on-the-nose writing style has been brewing in some quarters of the internet for a long time now, especially in film communities. The heavy-handed critique is perhaps best encapsulated by recent memification of the quip, "Well, that just happened." Despite the fact this phrase doesn't actually seem to appear in any actual Marvel movie, it's become a shorthand for the cliche shop-worn quips that certain people ascribe to the MCU. The line itself is the essential ethos of the Avengers writer and director Joss Whedon, And no matter what just happened, we can make a dumb referential joke at its expense and instantly erase all dramatic tension. Whether you enjoy this style of writing will ultimately boil down to personal taste. Still, even if you love something, there's an ultimate limit to that love. Yeah, like I said, that's it for me, right? I can enjoy it, but there's a limit there's an extent to it. No, nobody wants to eat pizza for every meal. Exactly. For me, the main problem with leaning on Whedon-esque quippery all the time is that it robs every situation of stakes. Fear, anger, hate, love. It flattens all the extremities of human emotion into a smug grin and an up yours. Noted horror writer Gretchen Felker Martin recently described Whedon's style as rolling your eyes at the most profound visions of ecstasy and horror the universe has to offer, and I think that's a great way of putting it. So you got freckles, you got chest freckles now. Is that what you're telling me? You got chest freckles, dude. I need to see them, by the way. Perhaps the most interesting case study. I'll read the rest of it. Bean, what's up, Bean? Bacon was good though, dude. I love bacon. I like bacon a lot, probably too much. Perhaps the most interesting case study in the ongoing justification of the industry came in 2018 when Destiny 2 killed off a fan favorite, Cade 6, in the expansion Forsaken. Voiced by frequent Whedon collaborator Nathan Fillion, Cade 6 served as a walking embodiment of the game's lighthearted writing style. Cade's death was taken by many fans as a move towards a more serious style in line with the game's weighty lore and deeper themes. As Destiny's 2 launch, Cade 6's sense of humor was front and center, leading to a more jossified tone shift that not every fan appreciated. Thanks to this move, Destiny has managed to explore more thoughtful territory in the trauma-focused season of the Haunted. Regardless of how you view it, it was certainly interesting to see a popular video game developer take the concept of idle quippery out, back, and put two holes in its head. As a whole, I don't think that video game writers should strive to institute a new wave of grim and serious dialogue, or at least not all at once. However, I would like to see more games take cues from well-written, humor-focused indies like Disco Elysium, which I have downloaded right now. That's going to be our next kind of CRPG story-rich game we play, guys. Hades, and even Cruelty Squad. Disco Elysium's novel conceit of giving each of your characters' emotions a unique voice makes it stand out in the space, along with its bent towards the surreal. Cruelty Squad portrays an absurd, ugly world riven by capitalism that it's so thoroughly cynical that it manages to elicit belly laughs. And though Hades does have its fair share of tumblery quips, each of its memorable characters has a strong voice and personality that it manages to nail the landing. Not every game needs to have award-winning writing, but a little bit of diversity in tone, genre, and humor would go a long way. This is in part why The Witcher 3 is such a good RPG. Dude, I just said that. Wow, dude. I should just start writing about video games. Or maybe do like a podcast, maybe centered around like video gaming news. Or maybe just like stream it. Like a video gaming news segment or something. I hope some devs learn from its example. The dialogue in this Forspoken ad might have attracted some ire of online jokers. There's nothing uniquely bad or objectionable about it. Whedon-esque writing came off as cutting edge and fresh in its day, but time has passed, and it now seems generic and trite without the proper treatment. Regardless of how developers feel about the style, why did I just lose that? What the crap? I hit something on my stream deck and then I totally lost that. Whedon-esque writing came off as a cutting edge and fresh in its day, but time has passed. It now seems generic and trite without proper treatment. Regardless of how developers feel about this style, it's clear that there's a fairly large portion of the public primed to poke fun at its excesses on occasion. As such, if you write video games, you better sharpen your one-liners because the content creators are coming for you. The real tragedy of this whole debacle is that the footage of Forsaken in the ad actually looks pretty compelling, at least by the standards of today's big-budget open-world games. Vibrant, traversal options, satisfying combat. If only Square Enix had uploaded a version without sound. I mean, it's true. It's true. And Tinwin, I think you kind of nailed it. I mean, it seems like it did kind of start a lot along the same time frame as when Borderlands became very popular, you know? So, yeah, I don't think you're off the mark there at all. Yeah. New Hogwarts Legacy reveal taking place at Gamescom. New footage from the upcoming Harry Potter video game Hogwarts Legacy is set to appear next week at Gamescom. Within the past week, WB Games and developer Avalanche Software sadly announced the game would be delayed to 2023, as with like every other game right now. And while this news was upsetting to a number of eager fans, we'll at least be getting a new look at the title this time next week. Divulged today on social media, host and producer Jeff Keighley revealed that Hogwarts Legacy will be shown off next week during Gamescom opening night live on August 23rd. Yep. So, big thing to take away here is you will probably see a new trailer for the game in opening night live for Gamescom. Gamescom is starting off on August 23rd. It's like that night. I'm leaving on the 24th for a week. So we'll probably, again, I've got it pulled up. We've got a few different things coming up. Capcom's on September 15th and 16th. Disney and Marvel's on like the 9th of September. Future Game Show for Gamescom is like the 24th through the 25th or 6th, I think, with opening night live on the 23rd. We're going to miss most of Gamescom stuff here in the channel, but I'm going to take a look at it once we get back. We'll just watch a bunch of it whenever I get back, okay? If you're interested, watch it, even though we won't watch it live, watch it, and then we'll rehash it whenever I get back and we'll talk about it, okay? Switch Online reveals new N64 game. Nintendo has announced that Switch Online subscribers will be able to download and play the classic 1996 Nintendo 64 video game Wave Race 64 later this week. Sick, dude. If you're not familiar, Wave Race 64 is essentially what it sounds like, a racing game using watercraft-like jet skis and even dolphins to see who can zoom around a track fastest. I remember this game. More specifically, Wave Race 64 is set to release for Switch Online subscribers on August 19th. The version of the Switch subscription service includes Championship Mode, Time Trial, Stunt Mode, and 2P versus mode. Does not appear that Wave Race 64 will include any major enhancements, but it will have 9 total courses that change with the weather. Wave Race 64. Get ready. Riding it backwards. That's so good.
You are the champion. Congratulations. Wave Race.
Is he riding that on purpose? Alright, let's go. The Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack includes a number of different Nintendo 64 video games beyond Wave Race 64. Like Mario Kart 64, F-Zero, Mario Golf, and usually it's like a couple of games each month, right? As noted, Nintendo 64 video game Wave Race 64 is set to release on August 19th, so 2 days from now. For Switch Online Plus the expansion pack subscribers, which is available for $50 a year as an individual subscription, and family membership is at $80 a year. The upgraded online service includes access to the Nintendo 64 video games, Sega video games, Genesis video games, and a bunch of other content like Mario Kart 8 courses, stuff like that. Cool. There you go. Wave Race, sick. Overwatch 2 cross progression and account merging details revealed, guys. Here you go. For anybody that is interested in Overwatch or is a current player of the Overwatch game / games, in case you somehow missed it, Overwatch 2 developer Blizzard previously revealed that in addition to being free to play, the new title would support cross progression across all of its platforms at launch on October 4th for PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Along with this shift to free-to-play, we'll be addressing cross-progression, enabling everyone to play, progress, and access their unlocked content seamlessly across all game platforms, the company said back in June. Now it has revealed all the details about exactly how that will work in Overwatch 2. The short and sweet version is that everyone will need a Battle.net account regardless of platform, and progress across platforms will be managed through the linked Battle.net account. Starting today, players can work on merging Overwatch accounts into a single profile in order to prepare for Overwatch 2 and carry progression and in-game cosmetics over. This merging should be prompted when anyone logs into a linked console account, but it can be forced through if not automatically detected. They've got a big lengthy FAQ about taking you through that process. Yeah, set to release on October 4th. Yeah. Again, this is coming very quickly. Other thing of note here, there's more info of that article in chat right there if you need it. They are getting rid of loot boxes, right? Overwatch 2 is no longer going to have loot boxes. It's just a cash shop, right? Transaction shop. So you want stuff, you buy it. No more loot boxes. If you have loot boxes, I can't remember what the date is right now, but if you have loot boxes in Overwatch 1, you need to, and you're not, and you want to open them yourselves, you need to do it. Because otherwise, Blizzard's going to open them for you very soon, and loot boxes are just going to be gone. Sony might be going all in on PC gaming. Spider-Man Files reveals. I think we already a PlayStation PC launcher. Yeah, we kind of hit on this a little bit yesterday, I think. In the days following the launch of Spider-Man on PC, remastered on PC. Data miners found files that referenced a PlayStation PC launcher. The publication says that it has confirmed and verified the files in question through Gizmodo and has not been able to independently verify them. However, this follows on the heels of clues coming out of a web of files, pun intended, conspicuously left inside Sony's latest port that showed the company may let users link their PlayStation Network accounts to their PC games. That's what we read about yesterday. It's still up in the air whether this means Sony wants to create its own PC launcher store page, then make its games exclusive to that platform. Of course, users absolutely love loading up a game on Steam or their Epic Store only to have that point to another sluggish launcher. So we hope the company will learn from others' failures. Sony also has a lot of ground to cover compared to the competition. Microsoft is already far ahead of Sony with its PC Xbox Live account integration. Yeah, everybody just wants another platform to have to open all their games on, right? Yeah, let's be real honest here. It's clear that there's an audience for PS exclusive games in the PC market. The company is making its ambitions clear with its own PlayStation for PC page. Yeah, if you haven't seen this, they do already have their PlayStation for PC page. That's in chat right now if you want to see it. This is what I will say. If Sony creating a their own platform for PC launcher makes it to where they start releasing their games for PC on day one, the same day that they release their games for PlayStation, they would release them on PC through this launcher. Bring it. I'm down. That's the only way in which I'm going to be like, okay, this is okay, as far as I'm concerned. Sony's God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn both proved to be top sellers on the platform. Company showed back in May that in just 2 months, the former sold around 971,000 units in the 2 or so months it's been available. Meanwhile, the latter has sold just under 2.4 million copies over the past year and a half. Sony also expects sales of its PC titles to exceed $300 million this year. The company apparently wants half of its games library on PC by 2025. Yeah, we're kind of aware of all that already. If concurrent players are any indication, Marvel Spider-Man Remastered is already a big hit with around 66,000 players swinging around the streets of Manhattan during peak playtime on Sunday. Here's the thing to note, though. One of the things we talked about over the past couple of news segments we've done is that this is a 4-year-old game. That costs $60 on PC. It's a good game. Insomniac absolutely nailed this game and Miles Morales. But it's a 4-year-old game. It's a 4-year-old game that got a PC port, and it costs $60. Obviously, people are paying it. Not this guy. That said, the number of Sony exclusive games re-released on PC is minimal compared to its competitors, with only 6 first-party games available on both Steam and Epic Store. Any new launcher would need to also integrate third-party games to make it worthwhile, although it's possible that Sony could add some depth to a PC launcher by integrating PlayStation Plus's Xbox Game Pass-like features into it. Absolutely. It may be a way for the company that's been hard-pressed to produce enough PS5s to meet demand to actually create buzz for its exclusive content. The company has said it wants to rapidly increase production this year, but a move to PC ports will still make its games far more accessible. Yeah, I think that's why they finally decided to pivot into PC. That's what I said earlier this year when they announced their move into the PC realm, their dedicated move into the PC realm was, I think it was in large part because they could not meet demand for the PS5. Therefore, software sales are dipping because people can't get their consoles. Executives have said that by expanding onto PC, they can go from having access to a very narrow segment of players to a much larger one. Well, obviously, yeah. Who says that? Well, no, duh. It's strange how long Sony has resisted allowing PC gamers to access the company's library. Maybe that's because of how deeply entrenched Microsoft, its chief rival in the gaming console space, is in PCs. Last year, Jim Ryan, Sony's interactive CEO, told GQ that while the cost of making games has gone up, our ease of making it, exclusive games, available to non-console owners has grown. Yeah, I mean, everything coming to us from Sony to us meaning PC gamers, right, is good. Right now, what they're doing, it's progression, man. And we've wanted this for a long time. Microsoft has had a very easy way into the PC gaming world because they make Windows, right? It's always been very easy for them. So a lot of, like almost all Xbox Day 1 releases also are PC Day 1 releases. PlayStation, it's been much harder for them to accept and incorporate that kind of thing, and finally it's happening. So any kind of progression on that front for PC gamers is good news, right? Okay, guys, this is let me bring this up real quick. This is the last article I have for today. If you have anything to add to the news segment I have not addressed, might not be aware of, it could be good for us to talk about before we move on to our Witcher 3 gameplay for today, please let me know, and we'll address it before we end the news segment for this morning, okay? I kept this up from yesterday. I'll link this in chat. Check out this this Ninja Turtles Xbox you can win, all right? It's pretty dope. Pretty cool. It's awkward. It's an awkward kind of case here, but it's cool. So you can actually win this thing if you're interested. There you go. It's in chat. All right, here's the last article I have. EA will honor the biggest pricing error we've ever seen. The publisher was briefly selling FIFA 23 for less than $1. In what may be the greatest regional pricing difference in the history of video games, Epic Game Store pre-purchases for FIFA 23 recently went on sale in India for 4.80 rupees. That comes to about 6 cents in US dollars. The price was an error, of course. FIFA 23 is meant to be priced at 3,499 Indian rupees, which comes to about $44 roughly US. That would make the accidental price a 99.86% discount, but it gets better. The erroneous price wasn't the normal version of FIFA 23. It was for the Ultimate Edition, no way, which costs 4,700 Indian rupees. That brings the discount to 99.98%. Everyone who took advantage of it will get to keep the game, according to an email from EA. An EA Sports representative confirmed to PC Gamer that the message is accurate. For the rest of us, there's good news and bad news when it comes to FIFA's pricing. The good news is that FIFA 23's PC version isn't the last-gen console version like FIFA 22 was. It's the same version appearing on PS5 and Xbox Series XS with the same trademark features. The big one is HyperMotion 2 technology this time. The bad news is that we're also paying the current gen console price, $70 in the US, and 60, that pounds? Dude, I'm so bad with the European currency. In the UK, the new normal for big multi-platform games. In India, the price has gone up between FIFA 22 and FIFA 23 from roughly 3,000 to 3,500 Indian rupees for the standard version, and 4,300 to 4,800 Indian rupees for the Ultimate Edition. EA is not disclosing how many people scored the accidental 99.98% discount, but they've got to be feeling pretty good about it, for sure. Yeah, we've talked a lot about this. This is the last year, so FIFA 23 is the last EA FIFA game, at least for the foreseeable future. FIFA and EA are parting ways. EA is still going to be making their football soccer games, but it'll be under EA Sports FC. That's what they'll be called moving forward, or renamed. Meanwhile, FIFA is collaborating with some other developers to get games made under the FIFA brand moving forward. That's it. That's it, guys. That's what I've got. That's what I've got for news today. We'll be moving on to Witcher Day 34. We got main quest line stuff. Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. It was a good news segment. Thank you for being a part of it, everybody. Lots of good news there. Love staying current, and I appreciate you guys being part of it. If you're checking this out on YouTube and you're enjoying the content, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with us at 6 o'clock a.m. CST, where we do video gaming news at the beginning of every single one of our streams, okay? Also, consider hitting that like and subscribe button for me if you are enjoying the content. And other than that, just stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow for August 18th edition of Video Gaming News, okay?